Welcome to another edition of Chef Knives to Go Quick Look Product Reviews. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we're looking at today is a 130 petty. This is the Takamura VG10 Nashiji petty 130 millimeter knife. And this line of knives has a core steel of VG10 stainless steel, which is a classic, often used steel in Japanese knives. Heat treat is about 61 Rockwell on that core steel. And the construction is like a 3-layer sandwich with a softer stainless cladding on each side of a VG10 core. Again, for a laminated like a 3-layer sandwich. We'll get a close-up look at the blade. The weight on the knife is pretty light, 2.6 ounces or 73 grams. And the edge length is about 132 on this one. These dimensions will vary just a little bit from knife to knife. So about 5.2 inches from tip to chin, which is the back of the blade itself. The overall length is about 245 millimeter. And these are pretty thin. The spine thickness is about 1.5 millimeter. I mean, pretty much hold that, and it thins out nicely in the last half an inch, maybe towards a pretty thin tip. The tip's ground quite thin on these. Blade height, this is a lower height petty, so more of a utility style blade versus a taller like mini Guto style. This is about 28 millimeters at the back of the blade from spine to edge. And let's get a close-up look at it. The handle's just a basic black packawood, which is a resin impregnated wood, and fit and finish is good on that. You've got a partial tang to add to the lightness factor, so it doesn't go all the way through the handle. Again, it increases the lightness and the neutral balance of the knife. Nice fit and finish on it. The balance point is going to be pretty far back on this knife. That's just the way it is. So it's that right there, kind of the bolster meets the wood. And these have, they call it a Nashiji finish, which means pear skin. But if you look closely, it's really more of a hammered finish, which is called tsushime. So they've got kind of a small hammered finish on it, which helps a little bit with food release and adds a lot of interest. You've got some embossed kanji, and I don't think that's hand hammered. It might be. If it is, I apologize. It could be hand hammered. So that might have a hand hammered, but it's got an embossed logo over here. Real nice look to these blades. Nice fit and finish on these. It's a little hard to tell, but you do have the core steel peeking through at the edge, so it's an all stainless blade. Nicely rounded spine and back of the blade choil, so these are ready to go. These are one of the sharper out-of-the-box edges I've encountered on Chef Knives to Go knives, so I'm going to give this a good solid 7 out of 10. They do a nice job with the polish and an edge bevel on these, so they are sharp out of the box, at least most of them I've seen. Let's see. Let's look at the cutting board. And see what she looks like on the board. Not necessarily going to do a lot of onboard work with this, but you've got enough clearance because you've got a fairly thin vertical size on this, so thin at the neck, so you might have to modify your grip a little or come off the edge of the board or cutting board or countertop, but you could do some board work with this. As well as, if you got larger hands, you might get away with some in-hand work as well for some paring tasks. So it could possibly span a multiple-use knife for you, like paring small utility crossover. Well done profile. I can get pretty high for this size knife before I dig the tip in. So just a nice little versatile petty that you can do a lot of cool stuff, a lot of detail work. It's thin at the edge, it's high performance tip, so they'd be great for detail work on small products, garlic, shallots, all kinds of stuff, or just some general use on a small line knife, or quite a wide variety of uses for this. So nice fit and finish, very sharp. So this is the Takamura VG10 Nashiji petty 130 millimeter knife.